Hi, it's me again, Sess from Wisdome, and I hope you're doing well. If you're a course creator, you'll want to take a look at this massive number making headlines right now. And that number is 325 billion US dollars. This is the size of the e-learning market as of 2026. It sounds incredible, right? This means that there has never been a bigger opportunity to scale your knowledge business and start selling online courses. If we pull back the curtain on that headline, we'll actually understand that this massive growth isn't happening by creating a passive, self-paced program where you simply record a video, upload it to a portal, and then cross your fingers, hoping your students finish. In fact, it's a fast losing ground. Let's explore this further. Solo consumption of online courses have an absolute rock bottom completion rate. I mean, we're talking about 10 to 15% on average. That means up to 90% of people who buy a standalone course never actually cross the finish line. This is usually not a content quality problem. If you've done your research, made sure your course helps your students achieve a specific goal, don't worry. This issue is more like a flaw in the structure of your course. Okay, think about it. As humans, we don't usually finish an online course alone. If there's no accountability and then zero social interaction, it's way too easy for a student to lose track. So what's driving that 325 billion expansion? Well, it's a community-led learning. When we launch a course, it's so easy to focus entirely on that initial sale, right? However, getting your students to actually finish your curriculum is your absolute secret weapon for growth. Think about it. A student who actually achieves the transformation you promised in your sales copy is a student who falls in love with your brand. When they finish your course, a huge ripple effect happens. They're more likely to buy your next advanced tier or purchase templates from you, or even join an ongoing membership. They also help bring more clients to your business through reviews, referrals, and this is even without any financial incentive to do so. Now let's look at the math. A course with a 15% completion rate is constantly on a marketing treadmill. In this situation, you will be forced to burn out cash and energy on ads or other non-organic launches just to acquire new students. That is because your old ones hit the dead end and drop off. However, a business running a course with an added online community around it is building a compounding asset. Remember, a community you build around your content or your course is what your students actually stay for and value in the long term. So, how do we make a passive online course into a thriving community-inspired transformation? Here are some ideas. First one is to incorporate community engagement inside your course. Discussion about your community should be directly woven into the daily learning journey. For example, at the end of a video lesson, you could prompt your learners to share their progress in your online group. Here, you can encourage them to exchange constructive feedback with others who are on the same path. That makes participation completely natural. Another thing you can do is to use intentional facilitation technique. A supportive community doesn't just run by themselves. However, this doesn't mean you have to spend all of your hours being a chat moderator for your community. Okay, it only means you can add predictable or structured touch points within the course timeline. For example, you can add a discussion prompt every Monday when a new module or lesson drops, or maybe remind your learners about a regular check-in. Here's another important point to consider. Think about the type of platform or systems you are using when selling an online course. That is because platform fragmentation, which means having too many different platforms just to run your course in your community, making it difficult for your learners to actually absorb your information. Okay, in order to make a community-led learning work for your online course, you'd have to eliminate the friction. You will be able to give your students a much better learning experience. That is, if your courses, your resources, videos, content library, and community lives in one system. It means they only have one login information and they don't have to switch to different systems every time. You can take a look at Wisdome. There are different access for different types of content. For example, if you have a library of videos or audio files, there's the content library. And if you have a course, it's easy because they just have to click on one option in a dashboard, and then they can explore courses available for them. We also have a section for challenges. These are for shorter, you could think of it as shorter type of courses with a specific goal. For example, a 7-day challenge to manage stress, right? And of course, inside Wisdome, there is your private and safe online community. This time around, your clients or learners can interact with each other, share information without being bombarded with too many ads, from different competing brands. And another major point to consider is that you control the information. You control what's being facilitated inside your social wall, which means you'll have access to the information of your community, their names, their emails, and the activity. So it gives you more freedom when it comes to marketing. I'd like to thank you for staying with me up until now. Let's do a recap. The online education has evolved. Now, a course creator's success depends on the quality of their content, as well as having a supportive learning environment through an online community. The community is important so learners can ask questions, share their journey, and learn from others. And consider building your course inside a platform that gives your learners a smooth and enjoyable experience. If you're ready to help your students learn skills they can use to improve their lives, check out Wisdome at wisdome.com.au. Take a look at our features, or better yet, you can book a discovery call with our team. We'd love to show you how easy it is to bring your courses, your content library, and your community together. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next video.